Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are diving into something, well, a little different. We're going to start with a small business that does things like marketing services and math tutoring. Pretty straightforward, right? But hang on, because their worldview is so huge, it stretches from your local market all the way to the literal end of the universe. Seriously.
Okay, so let's just start with this quote from the organization's CEO. It's a very unique take on investment, almost philosophical, you know? It really sets the tone for what we're about to get into, and it's kind of our key to unlocking this whole fascinating worldview.
All right, so before we blast off to the cosmos, let's bring it back to Earth for a second. We need to ground ourselves. First things first, who are we even talking about here? And what is this organization?
So this is Gauravdeep Gautam. He's the CEO, this central figure here. And his organization, it's called the Analysis Solution Mathematics Coaching Center, or ASMMC for short. Now, I want you to really lock in on that first word, analysis. Trust me, it's the key to, well, everything we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so what does ASMCC actually do? Well, when you look at their services, it's this really interesting mix of commerce and education, but it all comes back to that one core idea, analysis. Yeah, so on one hand, you've got your pretty standard business services, right? Business development, investment help, market research, all that stuff. But then, right next to it, you've got science and math education. And we're talking some seriously advanced mathematical analysis. It's not a combination you see every day, that's for sure.
Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second to really get a feel for how they operate. Let's take marketing. For ASMC, it's not just advertising. No, it's the whole shebang. From figuring out what the customer wants to actually building the product, all the way to making the final sale. It's a super complete, really practical definition.
And this is what makes it so real. It shows you just how grounded these services are. The listed price for their marketing services starts at 1,570 rupees. It's a real number for a real concrete business service. So I want you to hold on to that number, okay? Because we are about to take a massive leap.
Okay, deep breath. Because this is where the story just completely pivots. We are about to jump from the price of a local marketing service to the literal fabric of the universe. No, I'm not kidding.
So that just begs the question, right? If your entire business, your whole identity is built around the idea of analysis, well, where do you stop? Do you just analyze local markets, or does that analysis just keep going and going and going?
And here is the answer. It comes from the CEO himself. He says, the universe is a knowledge for us. Just let that sink in for a second. We literally just went from a service that costs about 1,500 rupees to thinking about our tiny little place in the entire cosmos. I mean, talk about a change in scale. It's just wild.
And believe me, the analysis does not stop there. Not even close. The source material then goes on to break down the entire universe into its key concepts. You know, its age, about 13 billion years, what it's made of, which is normal matter, you know, the stuff we can see, but also that mysterious dark matter and dark energy that make up almost everything else. And the one big guiding principle, the whole thing is constantly expanding.
All right, so now let's pull that cosmic level analysis all the way back home. We're going from the mind-bending scale of an expanding universe, and we're going to narrow our focus way down to one specific object of study, planet Earth.
And the level of detail in this analysis is just incredible. The timeline kicks off with Earth forming, 4.5 billion years ago? Then it moves through this chaotic period of asteroid impacts, and then, boom, the first hints of life. Fast forward a whole lot, and you see the supercontinent Pangaea start to break apart, and then, only in the tiniest sliver of time at the very end, that's when we show up, humans.
And the analysis just keeps getting deeper. Look at this. A simple, clear breakdown of the very air that we are all breathing right now. It's mostly nitrogen, about 78%. Then you've got oxygen, which, you know, is kind of important for us to survive. And then just a tiny 1% of other stuff. It's like a perfect chemical recipe for our planet's life support system.
Now, this is really cool. The analysis actually looks at the ground right under our feet. And it turns out it's a tale of two different crusts. You have the oceanic crust, which is pretty young, thin, and dense. And then you have the continental crust, the stuff our continents are made of, which is super old and way thicker. It's like two completely different operating systems running on the same planet.
And this analysis isn't just stuck in the past or the present. Oh no, it looks way into the future. And the prediction is a little dramatic. In about 5 billion years,
our sun is expected to swell up into a red giant and, yeah, probably vaporize the entire planet. So, there's that.
Okay, so let's just recap for a second. We've gone from business plans to the birth of the universe to the fiery end of our own planet. So how on earth does all of this connect? Well, the final piece of this giant puzzle is the one doing all the analyzing in the first place. Human beings. Us.
And this is what brings that massive, cosmic perspective right back down to a very human level. The source makes this fantastic point. As we look out to the stars and explore new worlds, our single most important resource, it's not our rockets, it's not our money, it's people.
But, to really unlock all of that human potential, we have to get real about our own challenges. And the source points to a huge one, unconscious bias. This stuff can seriously cloud our judgment and hold back progress. But check out the solution they propose. See a pattern here? First, you analyze the problem, get the data, understand the demographics. And then you use that understanding to build a solution. It's the exact same method.
So, that brings us to the final big question. The one that ties all of this together. After this wild ride from business marketing to the geology of our planet to the future of human exploration, what is the single thread that connects it all? The answer? It's so simple and so powerful, and it's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, right there in the name of the organization. It's analysis. That's it. The fundamental drive to break things down just to understand how they work. Think about it. Whether you're looking at a marketing campaign, the Earth's crust, or even our own hidden biases, the process is exactly the same. You take something complex and you break it down to understand it. It's this worldview where absolutely nothing is too big or too small to be put under the microscope and analyzed. It's a pretty incredible way to look at everything, and it kind of leaves you with one last thought, doesn't it? What's something in your world that you could understand better if you just started breaking it down?